be going over his book, reading passages, answering any questions, and there's a light lunch. So if you haven't signed up, please make sure you just go on over there. It's probably too late to sign up. You just show up. Monday evening, we have continuing our Financial Peace University, and we have a great turnout for that. And so don't forget to show up for that on Monday. And what else? Oh, and then this Wednesday is our midweek Faith Lift with Paul Heater. And so it's a beautiful meditation. There's singing. There's beautiful spiritual readings. It's a wonderful way during the middle of the week just to kind of get a spiritual tune-up. And it's very powerful. So that's at 6:30. This Thursday is our monthly Soul Sisters meeting. So for any of you ladies, if you've never been, it's a wonderful way to meet other women in our community. We always have great fun and we do some wonderful sharing. So please join us Thursday over in the Ohm Room at 6:30. Next Sunday will be our spring art show that Lisa Potencio puts on. She put on one last year too. And that will be here next week. And we have some amazing artists. So you'll want to go over there next week and just see. You might want to buy some art or whatever, but you could at the very least go over and enjoy it. And that will be next Sunday. And also next Sunday, after the second service, it'll be a short meeting of one of our guides that takes us on our spiritual tours will be here to answer any questions. If anybody's on the fence, this would be a great opportunity for you to come to this meeting and get any clarity that you need. I just want to really encourage everyone that if you're on the fence, they take such good care of us. We don't worry about anything. From the time we leave this center, we have a van that takes us to LAX. We travel together. They have all our tours set up, and every day you also have some free time, but mostly they have wonderful tours planned for us. We really learn the spiritual culture, the culture of wherever we go, really get to know the people in those countries. So it's really a great opportunity. We have a lot of fun. For those of you that, I just want to really applaud our center. I think we had over 30 people that signed up to help next Saturday with a special friend. I mean, they were blown away by the response that our center did. So if you signed up and no one has contacted you, it may be because they couldn't read your writing. And they tried. So if you did sign up and you haven't heard from anybody about who your special friend is, I'll be out there and I'll take your information, and you can still somebody will contact you this week. And I think that's it. So I am going to turn it over to Jerry Lynn. Beautiful music today. So Jerry Lynn.
Thank you, Reverend Laura. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Today we have another brilliant day of music featuring some of our in-house talent with a great singing of Michael Hadley. And Michael came to me with an idea about a great duet that he wanted to do with another guest artist that you've seen. And she's adorable and wonderful and a fabulous singer, Megan Van Dyke. So today you get the 2-for-1. The 2-for-1 special. Get Michael Hadley and Megan Van Dyke. Come on out. She's the youngest member of our church, by the way. A pretty cute one, too.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby, just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you.
Remember the day I set you free, I told you you could always count on me. From that day on, I made a vow, I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause there ain't
as fast as I can. You know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. You know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you.
Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Nothing can keep me from you.
To keep me from getting to you.
Megan and Michael. Had a workout on that.
I think you have a future.
I think that actually was in the past, but okay. Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? You ready to go on a journey with me today? Yep. I know I am. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Let it spool down. Hit pause. Stop thinking what you've been thinking about. Stop thinking about what you have to fix, what you have to create. And just be in this moment. Just know that there is something waiting for you to show up in the silence of things. Something waiting for you to be quiet enough and stop spinning long enough so you can just be fully present to experience what life is truly all about. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my serenity. As within, all around, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love, and I have no fears. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
So what a beloved opportunity it is to go within. And I invite you to go deeper this morning. As we know that experience of the one heart, one mind, one spirit, who breathes and lives in each and every aspect of our life. God is it. There's nothing in addition to God, nothing but God. God is all. And as I recognize this in my own life and feel and experience it, I know that for each and every person gathered here today, anyone hearing the sound of my voice, wherever you are in the world today, that there is only one. And this oneness, this allness is permeating in and through each and every thought and idea and word and action in ourselves. And to know that I must experience all that life has to offer. There are good times and times that don't feel as well, but I must experience it. That is what makes me a living, breathing human being. Choices that I make, thoughts come forward, they pass and they go. And when I can get into that place of calmness, that place of peace, that place of clarity, there's my opportunity for my joy. For I am the joy that I speak. I am that person. And in this place of joy, my decisions flow forward. This is the place of knowingness. This is the place of that place of clarity. And this is the place that I live from. No matter what is happening in the world, no matter what is happening within me, I live in this place of clarity and beauty and peace and abundance. It is all that I am and all that I desire to be. So with this, I know gratitude like I've never spoken before. I know this place of thankfulness, of being so grateful to be here today. And for our family that exists here, for all of the volunteers and concierges that support this service, for our beautiful and amazing band and musicians who show up with love and live that and breathe that every Sunday for us. For our ministers, our practitioners, who are available 24/7, 365 through our prayer line. We are always here for you, always available. You need but ask. And for Dr. Joe, whom is that vessel today, whom the Spirit brings a message for us, allowing us to ignite and breathe and live in a new way from this moment on. What a blessing this is. So in loving thanksgiving and the blessings that I know come forward from this time on, I release my word into the law. And if you're in agreement with me, please join by saying, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. Oh, and I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. There is an 11th hour in every demonstration of faith. It is a point at which fear in the individual reaches its crest. At this instant, which is probably a split-second measurement in mind, many people lose their most important battles with themselves. One more breath of faith, and their God ideal would have manifested. One more act of faith, and they would have broken through the particular pattern and freed themselves from its limitation forever. This is the moment of decision. Your faith has at last equalized your fears and doubts. The scales in mind are perfectly balanced. Your next thought, affirmation, or prayer determines whether your fears and doubts lose to you or you to them. To lose this all-important battle of consciousness too often is to contribute to discouragement patterns, which may one day seriously threaten your faith in the principle of mind and your ability to use it. Before you start on your next important demonstration, determine at the onset how you are going to act at the 11th hour. Please join me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Sending out love, sing it out with me. I send my love over the mountain. Come on, back row. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. And it returns to me, and it returns to me.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes, and leave.
Time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner buy defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Oh, pull me down.
Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Then the dreams away we've planned
There's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I, defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. So if you came to find me, look to the western skies. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying so low, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity. And soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. Bring me
Michael Hadley, Megan Van Dyke.
All right, Megan and Michael, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God. I love that. And I love that song. It's in honor of Cher, Defining Gravity. Okay. Wow, seriously? You're that asleep after that? Come on. Hello? All right, here we go. The joy of living is the title today. Here's your affirmation. It's kind of long, but worth it. Here we go. I accept my own power, and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth, and I understand its value. I accept my own potential, and I'm willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love, and I give it freely. If you want to experience joy, there is the way to do it. That's your prescription right there. To let yourself live your life, to actually be engaged. I'm going to talk today about how sometimes we get wrapped up in the world and our own issues and our own problems, and how that takes away our joy. Many things could just really take the joy right out of us. But if you think about it, if you know how to use your own power, and you know how to tap into that, and you know how to you feel good about yourself, and there's a sense of self-worth and value to not only you, but your greater contribution to what you mean in this world, right? In your community. When you accept that potential, when you tap into it, and when you know that you are loved, and not only are you loved, you give it freely, you will begin to experience joy. You will begin to experience joy. Here we go. Here's the questions, though. You have to ask yourself these questions. If I'm not experiencing a lot of joy in my life or happiness in my life, if I'm not feeling content, or if I'm feeling like I'm constantly, in turmoil, ask yourself these questions. Do I identify more with success than with failure? Do I identify more with the healthy and secure, or the sick and those struggling? Do I identify more with peace than war? And do I identify more with abundance or with lack? If you think about the things you think about all the time, where is your energy geared? When you think about that, am I talking about, oh my gosh, I hope this works because if not, it's going to be a failure, or if I'm not able to feel healthy or secure because of this and that and the other thing? Are you always talking about the things you really don't want to experience? If so, maybe you're taking away from your own joy. All right? Next thing, you cannot live a choiceless life. I'm getting some feedback up here. Hey, William? I always call William's name just because he's just the... Hey, William? I'm getting some feedback up here. Can you turn off all the mics up here or something? Thank you. Anyway, you cannot live a choiceless life. How many people think you can live a choiceless life? You're constantly living in choice. Something this simple. Where do you want to go to dinner? I don't care. What do you want to do? I don't care. Whatever you want to do. What is it that you want to do? I don't care. okay, until the other person mentions something that you don't want to do. Or eat at a place that you don't want to eat at, right? Suddenly your choiceless life becomes a choice to not live in joy. So in other words, speak up. Speak up, have yourself a little conversation. If someone says, where would you like to go? Speak up. At least have a conversation around it. But in your life, you can't live a choiceless life about your health. If you didn't make decisions about your health, where would you be? If you didn't make decisions about your relationships and engage and put it in drive in your relationships, where would you be? You'd be living a life of default. You just kind of stumble into your own world. But whatever your mind goes, your experience is going to follow. Who wants to have a choiceless experience? We do that a lot because we don't take the time to live in the joy of this moment. I'm really working on this. I tell you what, one of my biggest things that I'm working on in my own personal life, my own personal journey, is to just be present in a moment and not feel like I have to put myself into my future, but just be present, especially when I'm having conversations with individuals, to sit there in my silence and be. The hardest thing for me is to shut up and listen. I know you can't even imagine that would be my challenge, but it's true. It's the hardest thing for me is just to be quiet and let people speak, but not only let them speak, but to actually listen to what they're saying, to be fully present in a conversation. You know, many times when people talk, I'm already, formulating my judgment or formulating what I'm thinking about. In fact, speaking of judgment, so I was thinking about acronyms. Everybody has an acronym for joy. Just open yourself, blah, blah, blah. And everybody on the way out is going to give me their own one. I came up with one in the shower the other day. Well, not because I was in the shower, but I come up with my best ideas underwater. So, judge only you. The second I start judging other people, other situations, things outside of myself, I can judge myself because I own me. You know, I am me. But the second I step out of myself and I start evaluating situations outside of myself or evaluating people and their behavior, judge only you. You're going to have a lot more joy when you stop judging outside of yourself. There's a great freedom that comes from that. And so that's another thing I've been working on. Just judging me, not judging the world out there, not judging our government, not judging people, not judging world leaders, not judging local leaders, not judging, just staying out of the judgment except for my hair. You know, judge that. Judge this. Judge my shoes, my underwear, my socks. Stay in judgment here. Don't let it go outside of here. Just stay in the present moment. Keep bathing within the self. Now, that's not saying be selfish. I'm not saying about being selfish and not being part of, engaged in community and other things. I'm saying when it comes to those qualities, make sure you are just bathing within yourself and not judging anything else, all right? Joy takes place when we align with what is real. I had the opportunity to go see Michael Beckwith on Wednesday. I was in Los Angeles, and so I'm trying to just be like background, right? I just wanted to just show up in jeans and bad shoes and just fade into the distance, right? Except during the offertory, he walks around, right? And he walks around, he's like, oh, there's Reverend Joe Hooper from Palm Desert. And I'm like, crap, really? So why don't you stand up, Reverend Joe? Normally he has 2 busloads of people coming with him. I'm like, so he says, in fact, you know what? And he already given his talk. And he said, will you give the benediction at the end? I'm like, no. That's like trying to follow Beyonce. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't follow Michael Beckwith. Oh my God, are you crazy? So I said no, and somebody said, oh, you said no to Michael Beckwith. Hell yeah, I did. But he got me up there, and I'm like, of all times, not to wear the shoes that I'm wearing right now, you know? But he talked about what is real. And you know, you think I talk fast. I got probably 2% of what he said, but because he talks really fast. But he said something that was really profound to me. What if the challenges of your life are a piece of the puzzle that have to be present for you to see the whole picture? What if that is what's real? What if the real, capital R, God real, what if that's the real part of the puzzle, is that that's just part of the deal? This challenge, instead of looking at it as the end of the world, what if we just fit it conveniently into the bigger picture of our life and said, this puzzle piece belongs here? Because if we don't, suffering takes place, we pretend to hear more than our source. So once I try to pretend that this puzzle piece isn't supposed to be part of who I am, then I separate myself from source. As soon as I separate myself from source, what happens? Everything starts to fall apart. That's why sometimes when we have a puzzle piece that doesn't fit our description right, it doesn't kind of fit into our life, that's when we feel challenged by it because we don't know where to put it. What if it belonged? What if you had to have it? What if it's part and parcel of the bigger puzzle, the bigger piece, the bigger picture? Could I then accept it with different eyes? Would I have a different emotion around it? Would I celebrate, celebrate it? I know that sounds really odd. Why would you celebrate discomfort? Why would I celebrate a challenge? Because it's part of this piece. It's part of my humanity. Like Paul said in his beautiful prayer, it's part of that human being, human evolution. What if that really is part of it? Together, please. I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love and I give it freely. No one can ever rise to a lower expectation. Some people will say, and I've been guilty of this myself, going, well, you know what? Maybe I just set the bar too high. I'll be happier if I settle for this. Yeah. That doesn't grow. That doesn't expand. That doesn't do anything except make life more miserable. You cannot contract yourself or shrink into your good. We're asked to express and expand good. We're asked to be the living embodiment of good. How can I lower my expectation of my life to feel happier? It's time to raise the bar and know that you can hit it. And know that there are going to be puzzle pieces along the way which are going to be a challenge to fit in. But eventually they all fit in. Eventually they all fit in. Eventually every storm I've ever been in passes. Every earthquake, I stop shaking. Every hurricane stops blowing. Eventually things do calm down. Now, when you're in the middle of it, you don't believe it. You don't see it. You don't experience it. Wow. Can we? No? I just have to shout my talk out. Okay, never mind. You're doing everything you can, I know. Okay, here's the way to do it. You are not, Dr. Holmes said this, you are not dealing with conditions, you are dealing with thought. Thought, nothing else, thought and spirit. You are dealing with thought and spirit, nothing else. We don't deal with the condition because the condition is the end result of something that's already been in the process of thought. It was already born of thought and now is a manifestation of thought. So we can't deal with the condition, we have to deal with thought because you're only one thought away from joy. Did you know that? You are one thought away from joy in your finances, in your relationships. You are one thought away. You aren't 30 thoughts away, you're one. Now that doesn't mean the next thought's not going to lead you to another thought, to lead you to another thought. That's just progression. That's the logical and sequential order of the puzzle making itself manifest in front of you. But you are one thought away. And that's all we're working with. That's all we work with is thought. We think we're dealing in conditions. Conditions are nothing but the manifestation of the invisible stuff called thought. Does that make sense? So I'm only one thought away from joy. Ta-da. You should be like yelling. You should be like yelling amen or something crazy, right? All right, never mind. Dr. Holmes tells us that in order to do that, though, we have to have the faith of God, the faith of God instead of merely a faith in God. It's not looking at God going, I have faith in that. It's having the faith of that. That changes your perspective. It's not having faith in God, it's having the faith of God. It's walking with the faith of God, knowing your value, knowing your potential, knowing your worth, knowing your love. It's having your worth, all of that. You have all of that. That is you. God did not create something to suffer. It did not. I can't imagine, I can't fathom a God that would go, you know what? I'm going to create Joe, and every day of his life, I'm just going to try to piss him off. I really am. I'm going to aggravate him, upset him, trip him, hurt him, go through emotional turmoil, physical challenges. I think I've set my sights on Joe. That's going to be the one. No. Just no. Facts in and of themselves are not frightening. It's when we turn our backs and figure out a way to run from them. Then they're terrifying. And they're usually the one that wakes you up about 2:47. Whatever you're running from is going to wake you up or keep you asleep. Senseless running, too. It's futile because you think, this is real productive time because I'm going to spend my sleeping hours trying to figure out something that really, I can't figure it out in this moment. But I'm going to go ahead and let it keep me up all night. I'm going to make the decision to be miserable in this moment. It's really hard to turn that off, though, isn't it? Because you think, what if it woke me up? Maybe it's my consciousness telling me I should try to figure this out at this moment. No, it's not. God's telling you, go back to sleep. You need your rest. We'll figure that out tomorrow. But when we try to run from something, hasn't it always caught up with you? Eventually, when you try to run from any situation, it eventually catches up with you. And it says, will you finally deal with me? And you can say no. And they'll say, okay, I'll be back. When you least expect it, when you least want it in your life, I'll be back. I'll be back. We'll eventually figure it out. Together, please. I accept my own power and know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love and I give it freely. When God prepares to do something wonderful, it looks difficult. When something amazing is about to happen, it looks like a near impossibility. That's what I've come up with. When something amazing is about to happen, sometimes I go, really? God, what is it? Why am I going through this? And I have to remember, because something amazing is about to happen. And when something looks almost like it's impossible, I have to know that something mind-blowing is about to happen. And I'm not meaning I'm going to blow my mind up. It means there's something amazing. When I feel like that something is nearly impossible, I have to know that that is universe calling me to show up for what is going to be an amazing demonstration. That's why I read that. Be careful before you embark upon any journey on your consciousness in the 11th hour. That during our meditation, I read the 11th hour by Chuck Castello. Because when we set forward on a demonstration, when we get to the 11th hour, when the chips are down and you look at those puzzle pieces that don't fit and you feel that consternation, you feel that disconnect, you got to remember, what was I embarking upon to begin with? What was I setting my sights on to begin with? That's the same resolve that I have to have in the moment when it doesn't look like it's going to be manifest, because if I cave in then, I'm going to cave into all that consciousness of patterns that never worked. Does that make sense? You are joy and love. Your thoughts, not the world, cause you stress. You are joy and love. Again, like I said, I can't imagine a God going, nope, you are stress and chaos. You are discord and dis-ease. No, you are joy and love. You always have been. Sometimes we forget. Your thoughts, not the world. Our thoughts, one thought away from not feeling angry. One thought away from moving out of that spiral that we've created. I'm one thought away. So that means the joy and love is waiting for me to return to it. It's always been mine. So how can we do that? Again, moment by moment thinking. What is it in this moment? I surrender, let it be in this moment. I'm not looking at the next moment, and I'm not looking back at what happened. I'm in this moment. I'm working and seeing. I demand to see the joy in this moment. I demand to see the blessing in this moment. What if that were an affirmation? What if you said to the universe when something pops up, I demand to see the good in this situation? Say that. I demand to see the good in this situation. What if you believed that and had the faith of God that's manifesting that for you? Not the faith in a God, but the faith of God. And when you said that, when you spoke that word becomes your law, that law becomes your truth, that truth becomes your embodiment and your experience. What if you had the faith of God to say, I demand to see the good in this situation? Next thing, moment by moment thinking can move you in the right direction. Acknowledge your spiritual infancy. Sometimes we just have to say, I don't know what I don't know, but universe, show me the way. And finally, difficulty versus impossibility. We just discussed that. If you want to have a world that's, does that mean the stresses of the world are going to go away? No. No. You're delusional if you think that you can live a choiceless, stressless life. Picking out clothes is challenging. For some of you, hair color has been a problem. So it's either way, you can't live like that. Didn't mean to insult anybody, judge your own self. Okay. Acknowledge your own infancy and realize that the challenge between difficulty and impossibility is nothing more than the right puzzle piece coming in together. And it's bringing you in there. I am the place where God lives. Say that, please. I am the place where God lives. You are the place where God lives, moves and has its being. You are all that it has. It has all of us. But you are the place where God lives. Are you acting like a place where God would live? There are times I don't. I'm willing to admit it. Anyone else? 4 people. Seriously? I'd say you all go to hell, but that's a different church. Okay. I am the place where God lives. Say that, please. I am the place where God lives. And joy and love are what I'm supposed to have in my life. If I'm the place where God lives, I've made mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. But I'm still the place where God lives. God doesn't kick me out because I make mistakes. I will always be the place where God lives and moves and has its being. I will always be the place that expresses God. I will always be the eyes, the ears, the hands, the action of God. We all are. Everyone is. Last thing, stop boring God. Please. God begs you. I beg you. Stop boring God. If I am the place where God lives, am I excited about life? Are my conversations in heaven, so to speak? Or am I constantly boring stuff to the universe? Not just your friends. You're not boring to just your friends that you've told the story to 100 times. You are boring to God. Can you imagine God saying to you, Joe, just shut up about it. Oh my God, shut up. Shut up. I think God would say that to me a lot. Because everyone else does, but I think God would really say that a lot. He would say, just shut up about it. You're talking about the condition. No wonder you can't experience joy, Joe. Shut up. Stop thinking this crap. It's not doing you any good, and it's not doing anyone around you any good. Stop boring God with the details of why your life isn't working. God knows. It manifested it according to your thought and belief already. If you're staring at a condition, who do you think brought it about? Not some mystery energy. No, the universe brought it about because of what? What was going on up here? Which means what? I'm one thought away from changing that. I'm one thought away from joy. What the heck am I waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know, we lower the bar going, well, as soon as this happens, I'll be happy. As soon as this happens, I'll be happy. So guess what? I'm just taking my happiness and throwing it out into the future that someday, I'm not living in the moment. I'm not living in the presence of this moment going, hey, in this moment, like right now in my own physical body, in this moment, hey, everything's working. In this moment, I'm not thinking about my finances. I'm not thinking about relationship. I'm not thinking about my health. I'm not thinking about my jobs. I'm just thinking, in this moment, you know what? I'm good. I need to have more of those moments. We need to have more of those moments. If we want to be a collective community of consciousness and joy and love, then we have to remember who we are. And you are the place where God lives, moves, and has its being. I can't think of any greater gift that we've been given that we've misused. I am the place where God shows up. Together, please. I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I'm willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love and I give it freely. And so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
So I'd like to call the ushers to come forward, please. And so those of you that are live streaming, there's a give button there. Please give so that we can continue our live streaming and that you also support this center. If you're on your smartphone, you can also text your offering to 760-292-2233. All right, so as we prepare, let's get ready to get our offerings ready to give to the center so that we can continue the great work that we do here, continue to pay our air conditioning and everything else that goes along with having a home, right? So let's say our offertory prayer together, please. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. I know my offering and my commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world, and so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my joy. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my love. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So
So as Dale comes forward, let's just prepare. Let's hold up our hands, send our love, our blessings, our energy to our offerings, knowing that everything that we send out in the universe comes back to us, pressed down and overflowing. And let us say together, we bless this gift. We send it forth to heal and prosper. We know our offering and our commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world. And so it is. All right. Amen. All right. So if you are here for the first time, please don't be bashful. Please stand up. We'd love to welcome you. And we also have a gift for you. So, all right. Welcome. Welcome. All right. So what we've given you is a CD holder with information about our center. And we would like for you to stop by the foyer table out here and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. And if you're visiting the desert, thank you. Thank you for coming here. If you're from the desert, come back and make this your spiritual home. We welcome you. Thank you. So, right after the service in the Om Room, we have our 1-minute miracles. And this is our prayer team that will be over there. They're part of our prayer ministry. And if you're going through anything, any challenge, you want to set an intention, please go over there and pray with one of our practitioners. If you don't have time to do that, you can always put a prayer request in our chest. And those are picked up at the end of the service or after the service this afternoon. And they are given to our entire prayer team. So don't forget, this week we have Monday, our financial peace. We have Tuesday, our Do You Quantum Think. We also, don't forget our grief work. We also have a wonderful, if you're going through anything, they do grief work on Tuesdays over here in the conference room. Midweek, our midweek heart opening service with Paul. My soul sisters this Thursday, and Kathy Dugood's ongoing class. And we also have meditation here on Saturday. So there's something here every day of the week for your spiritual growth, for your grounding. So let's just say a closing prayer. So in the sacredness of this moment, we recognize that we are here to give God a good time. And that is our journey. That is part of who we are. We know that we are part of this infinite possibility, and that we claim our good. We see our good. We accept our good. We no longer wallow in any misconceptions of our limited being and accept the expansiveness of who we truly are. We recognize this potential that is within each and every one of us. And we write a new story of joy, a new story of love and expansion and abundance and perfect health, knowing that we do have that power of God. We are God in this vessel, and we claim our good. We know it, and we hold that focus. And we recognize that any challenge we have is just lifting us to that next level, raising our expectations of who we are and what we desire to experience in this life. And so grateful for this opportunity to see a grander vision, to be that excitement, to be that life that God enjoys by means of us. We just say thank you. We allow it to be so. We expect it to be so. And knowing this is the truth, I release my word into the law, knowing and claiming that it is already done, as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.